Cylinder head gasket installation. And now when we are installing this new cylinder head gasket, first thing is to always check that these are new and old gaskets, that they are just similar. This is like old one. This is the most important thing, that we have this old one and then there is this new one, and when I open this package, in that way I check that they are just unique and they are just similar. And in my case, these gaskets, they are just similar. Excellent. And then I can even check that this my gasket, new gasket, goes just in right these holes, and it is like it fits in here nicely, and there must be small movement in this gasket, and everything looks good. Yes, thumbs up. And when we have made this thing, then I need to check this cylinder block and then cylinder head, these planes, clean status, that they are clean, that areas. And that means that now I have to remove all dirties and oily things with my clean cotton cloth, and I check all of these planes that they are clean, because even small particles can generate in here this leak, and that's I check this even again, that everything is good. Excellent. And now I believe that this block is fine, and also I have checked this cylinder head that they are clean. And then next part is to clean these cylinder head bolts holes, and let's go to look at how it happens. Okay, and then I need to clean all of these cylinder head bolts holes, and for that purpose, if we have this compressed air and then this nozzle, this is really excellent. But remember that this is a little bit dangerous, because when I install this air in here, some sand and metallic particles can fly to our eyes, and that's be carefully and check. Yes, there is something. This is like clean. This is clean. And then clean. And then let's go to look closer. You can see closer that how I am cleaning things. And then that one. They are clean, good. Then we can go forward. Clean, clean. And I can also clean this cylinder tubes. Final hole. There was something. And I can also clean this piston and also this all holes in here. Because any of particle, when I have this compressed air, I can clean all of these holes, because any extra particle in here is bad. It is bad in here. Okay, looks good. Now all cylinder head bolts holes are clean, and I can then clean also my cylinder head. There is my cylinder head, and in that area it is also good clean these areas and remove all small particles in here. And let's go to look closer. In this cylinder head areas, these are valves, and now when I clean these, you can see that small particles are flying away. Good, and then let's go to look next one. And there is this final area, and there was also a little bit dirties. Okay, and now when I have cleaned these areas, I can clean also all areas in here, because any of extra particle in here is bad. Good, and now this is clean. And then final step is to take clean cotton cloth and clean all of these plain areas, because any of these extra oily or things in here can generate leak, and this is really important that all of these areas are clean, good, everything looks good, and then we can go forward. Okay, and then next part is that when I have these cylinder head bolts, there is good to remember install this washer and plates in here in that way. And then really important thing that I need to install in here, this is my oil can, that I install in a couple of drops engine oil in these threads and rails. This is important when we install these Toyota's 2.4 liter engines cylinder head bolts, because now we are installing these bolts in this aluminium block, and this lubrication, it must be good. And now I install engine oil, all of these my cylinder head bolts, these threads, and then we can install next this gasket in here. Next step is that I install this cylinder head gasket, and in this Toyota world this goes in only in here one way, and there are those bolts in here that this is easy to install in just in right way. And I a little bit move that mattress, and now this cylinder head gasket, it is in position, and then I can lift this cylinder head in here. Next step is that I install this cylinder head in here, and now I lift that cylinder head and carefully I install that in position in here, and this cylinder head goes nicely when I look firstly that plane in here, and then it suddenly drops in this position in that way. Excellent. And now the cylinder head is in this position, and I can start to install these bolts. Okay, and next I will finish and I set up this all of this my cylinder head bolts. First is cleaning. I clean all of these bolts that there is no any dirties. That way first cleaning, and especially these rails and thread areas, it is the most critical part. And then clean material in that way. And remember to check that all of these threads are clean. And then I install these fasteners. These are ready. Then I install in that one. Next one in here. In here. And then in that one, and then in that one, and now fasteners are ready. And then I need again this my oil can and couple of drops this engine oil in here, in here, and let's go to look closer this point. We can see that when I install this oil little bit in here, and only purpose is that there is good lubrication, because we installed these in these aluminium block areas. Good. And now these bolts are ready for installation. Then my next step is to install these bolts in back. And there are those bolts, and I start in this area and in here, and then in here, and this goes in that way, and then next one, and then the next one, and in that one. Here is this final part. Install this one, and this goes nicely in these positions in this way. Good. And now all bolts are in positions. Then when I have installed these bolts in back, I have to be sure that these bolts are in enough deep, and then especially that these fasteners are in down, because now I can see that in here there is some issue, and let's go to look closer. Okay, and in this point I can see that now this fastener, it is not in totally down, and this fastener it must be in down, and that's I take my bolt carefully up, and now this fastener goes down. Excellent. And this is good to check that all fasteners are enough deep in there. Good. And now all bolts are in position, and then I need again clean cotton cloth, and I clean all extra oils in that area away, because everything must be in clean when we start to install and tight and make togue to these bolts. And next I take my socket, and then I start to rotate these bolts in deeper, and I need now this my socket, what is this M12 size, and it looks like that. And now I use also my electric, this drill driver carefully. Now I have to use it only carefully, not any extra force, and only so long that this bolt stops. Okay, now it stops, and remember to start this central line, and then this line, that line, that line, and that line. And now I go in here. Good. And then we go in this. Good. And we can also look closer. There we can see this bolt, and I install my tool and only carefully. Okay, and now it stops. Good. And then we can go forward. I continue this my pre-tight. These are fine. Then in here, and then in here. Good. And then that one. Good. And then in here, and in here, and in that one, and in here. Okay, and this is not moving. Okay, interesting. One bolt is difficult. Okay, and this bolt in here, now I have small issue, because this is like stuck. And this bolt is normally difficult, and now I little bit stop, and I try again, but it is not going deeper. Okay, interesting. And I have to now take this my bolt up and look that why it is not going down. Okay, and now I take this my pliers and I think that why this is like up, why it is not going down. Okay, and if that kind of situation happens, then I need to take these my bolts again away, because all bolts must be in deep. And now there is something that this bolt is not going down. Okay, and now this my case was that I need to take out this VVT-i system's oil valve, and then this cylinder head bolt goes in here deeper. Okay, good. And now I can rotate that in easy way and it goes in down. Excellent. And finally I need to install this VVT-i system's oil valve back. Okay, good. And then when I have installed these bolts, we can start to make this togue. Okay, and then I need my togue friends tool, and I need the first step to install in here 70 Newton meters or 50 feet pound this force, and this is like first step, and then I need to do second step. But let's go to do this 70 Newton meters togue firstly in this cylinder head bolts. This cylinder head bolts, this locking and togue starts in the central positions, in that one, and then in here, and in here, and in here. It goes in different road, and the purpose is that in that way this cylinder head is in plane. And let's go to do that job. Okay, and there is this my togue friends tool, and I have set up in here 70 Newton meters force, and I start this my job in the central area, and then when this my tool beeps, it means that now there is 70 Newton meters this force. Okay, and I start in here, and then I little bit do in here, and let's listen that when we can hear this sound. Not yet. There is now, I can see that there is 50. Okay, now there is 70, and then I go in this another side. There is also 70, and now I go in the central line in here. Good, and then I jump in that another side in here. Okay, good. And then I continue my job. Okay, and then I really continue this my job in this position, and I install in here in 70. Now there is 70, and then I jump in here, and there is 70, and then in here. Good, and then I jump in that corner in here. And there is 70, and then in this another side area in here. Good, and then in that area. Good, and then in here. Good, and now there is 70. And then it is good to repeat that. That's because sometimes some bolts can be loosened. And in that way. Good, and in here I all time I check this my scale. Good. They all are. This was a little bit loosened, but now it's 70. This was a little bit loosened. Good to check. And this was also a little bit, but this is okay. And then how about in that one? This is okay. And then in here we have 70. And here is 70. Excellent. And now this first togue is ready. And then we need to do the second togue. And let's go to look at what that means. Okay, and then second turn is like extra 90 turn. What I need to do, and now I change my tool, and now I have this older togue friends, and now there's only purpose is that I have to move this my tool in this position, start in here and then move that in this 90-degree position in here. Okay, and let's start in that one. Again, this central bolts. Good. And let's look at how it happens. Now this is like starting point, good. And then I take good grip and then 90-degree. Excellent. This went nicely. And then again, same thing in the second bolt. Good. This went also nicely. And then in next one in here. Good. And this is hard job. And then I togue these all bolts in same way, and we can then continue because this is heavy duty job. Okay, and then we can finally like do this final inspection if we have this digital socket size togue friends, and there should be this force at least 80 Newton meters. But let's go to look these amounts because this is like final check. Now we can look these amounts in here, and there should be when this tool starts to move that how much there is this force. Now it tells that there is this amount. Good. And now we can check using this kind of meter that there is at least this 80 this force in every of these bolts when this is like stopping position. Good, excellent. And now this togue friends job is ready. And now this cylinder head is finally in position, and we have installed this new cylinder head gasket and bolts, and we have also checked this all these togues using like this final extra togue friends tool, what is digital, that there is at least 80 Newton meters in all of these bolts. And now I have checked and everything is fine, and then we can go to next work step. Good.